voice is loud and clear. I was drifting in the dark, holding on with fragile sparks, but the storm has shown the way, turning night into the day. Every moment, every scar tells me who we really are. Lift me higher, let me fly, breaking through the falling sky. Through the falling sky, we rise, burning brighter in this light. Through the falling sky, we run, stronger now, we've just begun. Through the falling sky, we rise, every heartbeat unified. Through the fire, through the night, we break through the falling sky. Every shadow fades away, I can see a brighter day. From the ashes wings unfold, every story must be told. Every moment, every scar tells me who we really are. Lift me higher, let me fly, breaking through the falling sky. Through the falling sky, we rise, burning brighter in this light. Through the falling sky, we run, stronger now, we've just begun. Through the falling sky, we rise, every heartbeat unified. Through the fire, through the night, we break through the falling sky. Through the storm we find the flame, every loss becomes a gain. Through the dark we learn to try, we are breaking through the sky. Shadows break, the dawn is near, every voice is loud and clear. Through the fire, through the night, we break through the falling sky. Fading light across the room, shadows stretching into blue. Quiet echoes start to fall, I can barely feel it all. Something slipping out of reach. I trace the outlines of your voice through broken thoughts I can't avoid. Every word still lingers here like distant waves I almost hear. The air.
Hello everyone, can you guys hear my voice? Okay, so if you can hear my voice, you may type 1 in the chat room to let me know. But actually, a lot of things actually happens during this weekend. Later, I will be sharing to you guys what are actually the things that are actually happening within these 2 days. So if you're looking at the thumbnail of this video, of this live, I put a black swan, right? Let me ask everyone over here. Does any one of you actually understand what is black swan? If you know what is black swan, you may type 2. If you don't know what a black swan is, you may type 3 in the chat room. Okay? Because today I will be teaching you guys what are actually a black swan is. And what are the things that will eventually it will affect black swan to be happen? Because overall, when we're looking at this current market structure, um, there is a chances of black swan will be happening very soon actually. Okay, we don't know. What about you, Ian? Okay, so before I go into black swan topic, yeah, correct, black swan. Do you know what is that? Black swan. I thought that's stationery shop. Uh, that one is called swan. Yeah, correct. The color pencil. Okay, so black swan actually there is a meaning when it comes to financial market. So later I will share with you guys what are actually black swan. So before we go into black swan topic, I will start off with market analysis first. So right now in XAU time frame, if we're looking at weekly time frame right now, we are actually already close below this level. And why is this level so important? It is because this level it is actually the lowest point of this biggest drop. And this is actually the lowest point in March 24. 我很记得这个日期。Okay, March 24 onwards. Okay, so after this low created, right, and eventually it didn't close below this level already. It's been so long. It's been how long is it? Around 70 days. And right now, finally, the price actually closed below this weekly support level. So next, what do we actually need to look for is daily time frame already, because as what I saw in weekly time frame right now, we already seen a very big weekly candle, and this big candle it actually closed below this weekly time frame support level. And this support level, it is actually very important because if we're looking at weekly time frame already and we go back into daily time frame, right? Actually, daily time frame, although we are actually still sitting at this support level, but this support level, eventually there is a sign of breaking down towards the downside already. Because there is a very big red color candle actually happens during last Friday, which is the happens of NFP. So since the top of XAU, we actually already dropped around $1,300, and that is equivalent to 13,000 pips, everyone. Okay, that is 13,000 pips. This is very, very, very big drop since when is it? Since January. And yeah, last Friday it also dropped how much? Also around 1,600 pips. So right now, what I see in daily time frame is there is a sign of closing towards the downside, but I still couldn't say that this is a confirmation of breaking this support level, because we still need to wait for a few days to actually happen. So what I am actually waiting in daily time frame is right now we can see there is a fair value gap happening soon, okay? But it is not formed yet, but it's happening soon. We will have to wait for tomorrow during the market open, which is, if not mistaken, is 8 o'clock. Okay, we have to wait for the next daily time frame candle is formed first. So after the next daily time frame candle is formed, and we can identify this as a fair value gap already. So once this fair value gap is formed, what are the next thing that we need to look for? We need to wait for a few more days. You can wait for around 2 to 3 days, which is, or I put it in this way, let's wait for Friday. So if Friday, if this fair value gap, it is still happening over here, and the price, it didn't goes above this fair value gap, most likely the chart will continue to drop already. So which means before Friday, if the price keeps on going on consolidation, looking at something like this, which is consolidating below this resistance, most likely we'll see the price drop even further. So this one we will need to wait for Friday to identify already, or maybe Wednesday as well, because Wednesday actually there is a news happening, which is CPI. So do you guys still remember what I taught you guys during last month's CPI? What is actually CPI? CPI actually it indicates the inflation rate of US, because this is US trading pair. So right now we have to wait for a few more days in order for us to identify whether or not we will foresee a breakdown towards this support level. We will need to wait at least 3 days, okay, for me to identify. So let me go to even smaller time frame. Actually, right now, 4-hour time frame, we do not have anything yet, because what I see is I just saw a breakdown towards this support level, which is this daily time frame support, and we already broken down below, but this is not confirmed yet, this trend, because there is a chances of liquidity grab actually happens at this level. So if liquidity grab actually happens at this level, right, most likely daily time frame eventually it will goes above already, and this fair value gap eventually it will fail. So if this fair value gap is fail, which means I won't foresee a breakdown of this support already, and I will see this level it will be supported. So let's go to 4-hour time frame, 1 hour time frame. Actually, 1 hour time frame, we also did not see anything. What I see is just downtrend, because the low is just keeps on forming and the high is getting lower as well. So actually in 1 hour time frame, everything is downtrend. Let me go to 15 minutes. So because if we wanted to do any trade, we will have to use smaller time frame. So right now, what I see in 15-minute time frame is there is a change of trend actually happens at this level, because this is the starting point of this downtrend. Because there is a continuous of trend actually happen at this level, so that's why there is a change of trend actually happens. So if we wanted to do a long trade, how can we actually do? We will need to wait for the price to come back down one more time first, and I need to see a higher low happen, because this is how we actually trade reversal. And what does this actually mean is I want to see whether or not the seller is weakening, and I want to see the buyer is actually getting stronger. Okay, so this is 15 minute. Right now in 5 minute, 5 minute is also the same as 15 minute. We also currently having this change of trends. Actually, it is also almost at the same level lah. So right now, both of this time frame, actually, we are forming a change of trend. So how do we actually enter a long trade? It is very simple. First of all, just like I mentioned, I need to see a higher low first. After higher low is formed, I will need to see a confirmation of trend happens. So after this confirmation of trend happens, I will only slowly to look for this long entry. Or else this long entry eventually it will be very risky. It is because we are currently actually sitting below this resistance. Yeah. Okay, we need to be very clear with it. Because what I said just now, 4-hour time frame, we are actually below this resistance level. So is there a chances of going in this way? I will draw it. This is just my prediction, okay? A blueprint of what we can do. So 4-hour time frame, we're actually going back to the resistance, because in 15-minute time frame, we already have a change of trend happens at this level. If a higher low happens at this level and a confirmation of trend happen, and we are actually already back at this resistance level. So what can we do next? We can actually look for a reversal trade in 15-minute time frame. So which means instead of us doing a long trade, whereby can we actually ignore the long trade? Because if you wanted to do a long trade, yes, it is correct based on our SOP, because in 15 minute and 5 minute, we actually notice a change of trend actually happens from down to uptrend. But we are actually against the higher time frame bias, which is 1 hour, 4 hour daily time frame. All of this big time frame, everything that tells us is it will be dropping very soon. And what I see is just in smaller time frame, there is a sign of turning towards the upside, whereby this upside, this retracement, it is actually a good thing for us. Because if there is this reversal actually happens towards the upside, which means the trend, it is not like just keeps on dropping every single day, whereby it will have some retracement. Because if you actually chasing after a short entry right now, actually this is not a good sign. Because first thing, you will be easily swiped out by the market. The second thing is there is a little bit of emotion trading. Because of the market, it keeps on dropping. Is there a chances of you are chasing after this kind of orders? Am I right? So what we can do is we have to go into a smaller time frame, 5 minute and 15 minute, to look for a reversal trade. And this reversal trade eventually it will helps us to catch a higher time frame bias. Alright, so this is what I'm waiting. Even though there is a change of trend, but I am actually more uh happy to see a change of trends towards the downside after reaching this resistance level. So this is what I see in XAU. If you want to do long trade right now, trust me, it is quite risky right now. Yeah, it is quite risky. But you can do, okay? You can do, but your TP might need to lower down a bit. Maybe 1 to 1 or 1 to 2, that is very enough already. Yes. Okay, so this is all about XAU. Let me go to Bitcoin right now. Actually, a lot of things actually happened in Bitcoin this 2 days. Okay, a lot. Okay, so I will start off with weekly time frame first. So in weekly time frame, definitely it has already formed a confirmation of trends towards the downside already, because this is a sign of lower high, and there is a change of trend actually happens at this level, and some more, there is a confirmation of trend actually happens as well. So which means overall the whole market in Bitcoin in weekly time frame, I already saw a potential of the market actually even going down very soon. So that's why I came up to this topic. Is there a chances of black swan actually it will happen? So this is what I'm actually looking right now because of this weekly time frame. Okay, because of this weekly time frame. And if we go into smaller time frame, which is daily graph right now, we actually yes, although it really closed below this previous low, but it did not have a very firm that tells me this price is actually successfully broken below, which is this support level, whereby what we can do is there chances of the same thing that goes with XAU. Right now it retraces to this resistance already. Is there chances of going down to this next support level? This support level, it is actually daily time frame support. And if we wanted to look for a resisted at this level, we will have to go into 1 hour time frame really. Because if we wanted to see a movement in daily time frame, we will have to look for 1 hour time frame, because 1 hour time frame eventually it will affect the movement of daily time frame. Okay, so this morning I actually told my student it has really a change of trend actually happens in today morning, this morning. And right now what I want to see is a confirmation of trend, which is this level 63,599. If this level it is successfully closed above, which means this actually tells us a confirmation of trend actually happens from down to up. Whereby, why I wanted to look for this thing to happen is, if this actually happens, if we wanted to look for a change of trend, eventually I will use this level already, because this is the starting point of this trend. So that's why I will use this level. But right now, if we wanted to look for a change of trend, eventually I will still need to use this level, which is 59,300. So as of right now, if we wanted to look for a resisted at this daily time frame support level, because right now we already have change of trend. So as of right now, let's say if this thing didn't happen, which is this confirmation of trend didn't happen, what I want to see is the price eventually will have to close below this level. So if the price actually close below this level, eventually a change of trend will only happen, and whereby this level it is very very low. And you may ask me this question, why do I actually look at this level? Because this is actually the starting point of this uptrend. Okay. Okay. So right now we just have to wait for this thing to happen. If this is happen, we will use this point as a change of trend. So if change of trend actually happens, right? Yes, we can actually enter slowly to look for a short entry, because we will actually shorting this Bitcoin. We can actually short until this support level, and this support level it is actually daily time frame support. So this is what I am actually waiting for in BTC. So let me go into 15-minute time frame to see whether is there anything actually happen. Okay. Yeah, actually there is a lot of noise happening in 15-minute time frame. A lot of noise. Yeah, so I won't use 15-minute right now. So let me go to Ethereum. Okay, for Ethereum, actually it is much more weaker compared to Bitcoin, because during last 2 days, eventually it straight away broke this support level, and it didn't even blink. Very fast, boom, 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 boom. It just dropped. And this drop, since the highest point, it has already dropped how many percent? Let me see. It has really dropped around 40%. Actually, it is quite big lah, if you ask me. Okay, so right now, what I see is there is a resistance actually at this level, and this is a daily time frame resistance. So it is also the same thing as Bitcoin and XAU. If the price came back and touched this resistance level, eventually I will look for a short trade as well, because right now in Ethereum, I also foresee a change of trend happens, because this is a change of trend, and there is also a higher low actually happen at this level, and there is also a confirmation of trend happen. So right now, if we wanted to look for a change of trends towards the downside, we will use this white color line, which is this low, as a change of trend. But what if the price actually goes above? So if the price actually goes above this level, I will foresee a continuous of trend actually happens in 1 hour time frame, and whereby if this thing actually happens, right, most likely the price eventually it will come back to this resistance level. Once this resistance level is arrived, yes, we can slowly to look for a short entry in Ethereum already. Okay. So these are the things that I am actually looking for Bitcoin and Ethereum and XAU. So just now I was talking about one thing, which is Black Swan, right? So let me share with you what is actually Black Swan. So Black Swan, it is a first of all, a lot of people eventually they will lost a lot of money during Black Swan. But let me tell you this truth. There is also a small amount of a group of people they are actually making tons of lots of money from this black swan. So which means maybe 1% of people are actually making 99% of the people's money. So black swan, which means you can put it in this way. To easier to explain to you guys is overall the whole country or the whole financial product that we are looking at is almost gone. Okay, but it is not gone yet, but it's almost gone. So what are the things that I actually consider black swan? First thing is 2008 Lehman's brother. That is actually a black swan where everyone, it couldn't even predict that this kind of things eventually it will happen. And the next thing is 1997 Asian market crisis. The bubble is pop. That's why a lot of Asia currency, you will notice there is a lot of zero, like Vietnam dong or Indonesia rupiah. There are so many zero. Why does this actually happen? It is because of 1997 Asia economy crisis and these bubbles pop. And most likely upcoming which is right now, I don't know whether this will happen or not, but throughout this weekend, I actually noticed a few things are actually happening. Why does Bitcoin actually drop so much within last Friday? So there are a few reasons. The first reason is there is a big amount of money that are actually flowing out from Bitcoin, which is ETF. ETF Bitcoin, it actually a big amount of money are actually selling off from Bitcoin. Where does this money go? Later I will tell you. And during 2025, which is last year, a big amount of money actually goes into Bitcoin. So that's why Bitcoin eventually will goes until 120,000. And right now, it already in this Bitcoin ETF, it already withdraw at least more than hundreds of billions really. Tens of billion. I wouldn't. Yeah, tens of billion. Yeah, tens of billion of dollars are actually flowing out from Bitcoin ETF already. So that's why this thing is the first reason of why Bitcoin actually dropped so much. And the second thing is Michael Saylor. Does any one of you actually know who Michael Saylor is? So if you do know who Michael Saylor is, you guys may type 1 in the chat room to let me know. Do you guys know who Michael Saylor is? So Michael Saylor, he is a guy who who is the most faithful man to Bitcoin. You can put it in this way, yes. Because he keeps on telling people to buy Bitcoin. And whenever there is a retracement happens, there is a time for you to buy more Bitcoin. But during this weekend, things doesn't happen the same way because Michael Saylor actually sells Bitcoin for the first time. Yes, although the amount of Bitcoin he actually sold, it is very small. If not mistaken, it is just of 8 digit. It is just tens of millions worth of Bitcoin. It is not that much, but this actually tells a lot of people. Right now, the most faithful man to Bitcoin, he actually also sold his Bitcoin for the first time. And how much fear does this action he did actually affects the market? And how does the market actually thinks about these incidents? So this is a very, very important thing that we will actually need to look at right now. Because if Marcus Saylor, if he keeps on continue to sell off his Bitcoin, eventually the more fear he will create to the market. And if you ask me this question, why does actually Michael Saylor sell Bitcoin? Maybe he does have some insider news. I don't know. Or is he planning to buy SpaceX IPO? No one knows. So the reason why he sell, definitely he didn't say. So this is the second reason why Bitcoin actually dropped so much. And the third thing is a lot of money are actually absorbed by AI stocks. If you look at a lot of technology company right now, like Google, Apple, Nvidia, a lot of this kind of AI related stocks or those company that are actually they are focusing their development on AI. Eventually, all of their stocks are actually going very, very high right now. Let me show you an example. Let's just look at NAS 100. NAS 100, it is actually the technology. This is a technology stocks. So if you're looking at the whole NAS 100, it actually rises so much. It has already risen 33% since 66 days ago. And that is also the same as Bitcoin actually. So if you're looking at Bitcoin, from the highest point to right now, actually it is around 35 days. So which means there is a lot of money that are actually flowing from Bitcoin into technology company. So that's why this thing eventually it will happen. Okay? So where is the thing? Let me see. Okay. So this is the third reason why AI stocks are actually absorbing the liquidity of the market. And the third thing that are actually happening in the market is a lot of people are actually got liquidated in the market. And when the people actually got liquidated, they're actually forced to sell off their position. And this drop, it is actually considered quite big. Okay, in Ethereum, it has dropped around 40%, but in Bitcoin, it actually drops around 30+%. So which means a lot of people, if they are using, let's say they are open isolated position, if they are opening a 5x entry, 5x leverage, eventually they will also boom their account. Because this 30% drop, it is actually considered so big. Okay. And when the people are actually got liquidated, the system eventually will forcefully to sell off their position. So that's why the market will keeps on dropping and dropping. And what I noticed in XAU and Bitcoin right now, it keeps on breaking the support level. If you guys did notice about that, the low keeps on forming a new low, new low, new low, new low. It keeps on happening in Bitcoin and XAU. So the fourth reason is a lot of people are actually liquidated. So let me tell you guys one fact. If you haven't got liquidated by this big drop, eventually you are actually considered a good trader compared to a lot of people already. Yeah, because you know what is how important is wallet management. Because of a good wallet management, eventually it will save a lot of you guys, and it will save you guys from liquidation. So this is the fourth reason why uh this big drop actually happens. And the next thing is, the fifth reason is looking at the data of the US market right now, and of course looking at NFP, because NFP during last week is a green color, which is it is good for US dollar. And this actually tells us a few things. First of all, the US economy are actually doing good. So if US market are actually doing good, eventually Kevin Walsh most likely he will delay the lower interest incidents. Okay. US most likely will delay the lower interest rate. And there are a few things that how do I actually get this data? The first thing is NRP, and the second thing is DXY. Actually, DXY, it already rise quite a lot since this year January. So which means overall the whole market are actually recovering in US. I can put it in this way. And I also noticed there is a lot of stocks, especially those technology and AI stocks, are actually going very, very high right now. And a new high keeps on forming. Okay, so and we just look at this NES 100. What I see is it really have a very, very big pump happens really. Yeah, and this actually tells us US market is actually doing good because those unicorn company in US, when they are making money, which mean the people of US or the citizen of US, eventually they are also making money as well. So if this thing actually happens, lower the interest rate, eventually it is delayed. Eventually there is not enough money to flow into Bitcoin and XAU already. So XAU and Bitcoin most likely it will continue to drop. Okay, and the next thing is fear and greed index. Actually, right now, if you're looking at Bitcoin, I think we can see a fear and greed over here. Yeah, in trading view, we also can see this fear and greed. So you right now is strong sell. So you strong sell right now, which means the whole market are actually considered very, very fearful right now. And this is actually a sign of going down very strongly. Okay, extreme fear. Right now it's extreme fear. And a lot of people that are actually bought their Bitcoin at a very high place, let's say 100,000 or above 70,000. A lot of people they are actually fear whether or not the market will keeps on continue to drop or not. So if there is more people that actually keeps on to sell their Bitcoin, eventually Bitcoin it will continue to drop. Okay, so this is the 6 things. And the last thing is SpaceX. SpaceX IPO is actually happening this weekend, if not mistaken. And Elon Musk, eventually he is looking for 1.75 trillion of market open. 1.75 trillion of IPO. This is actually this is the biggest IPO happening in the world. There are a few things that will eventually what I see in these cases is, first thing is, what happened if this IPO failed? It didn't have 1.75 trillion. So if it didn't have 1.75 trillion, which means SpaceX stocks, once IPO is launched, immediately it will drop 20-30% because the market it does not have enough liquidity. And the second thing is, if indeed it successfully allows SpaceX to achieve 1.75 trillion, let me show you this data. World asset market capital. Gold right now is 30 trillion. Nvidia is 5 trillion. Bitcoin is 1 trillion. So if SpaceX, if he launch 1.75 trillion, which means immediately he will become the world largest asset, top 10 largest asset in the whole world. And how does this liquidity actually came from? It will comes from a lot of places. Okay, that's why gold is one of the things of investor of joining this IPO. Those rich people, they will withdraw their money from gold and put it in this IPO. This is the first thing. The second thing is, maybe Bitcoin is perhaps a second option. Because if we're looking at other option right now, most likely it wouldn't have happen yet because other stocks is actually related to AI. Okay. So most likely the people they wouldn't withdraw the money from AI stocks. So that's why eventually they will withdraw their money from gold and Bitcoin. So this is actually the last so this is the last thing that I actually sees of this black swan. Eventually it will happen quite soon, I would say. We need to be prepared. It will happen or it might not happen, this black swan. So in this throughout this weekend, Monday, from last Friday to Sunday, um, it actually within these 3 days, it actually happens these seven things. And I noticed these seven things during this weekend, and we need to be prepared of what is actually going on in the market right now. Okay. So before I end, let me do a quick summary. So right now, XAU, we just have to, if possible, we can look for a short entry instead of a long entry, especially in 15-minute time frame. Yes, right now it is uptrend, but we need to look for a change of trends towards the downside first in order for us to have a better trade, because this is actually following the bigger time frame bias. And for Bitcoin, we will have to use 1 hour time frame to identify a change of trend. So in Bitcoin, we also looking for a downtrend, and Ethereum is also, we are looking for a downtrend as well, because all of the time frame in bigger time frame like 1 hour, 4 hour, daily time frame, everything is just going down. All right. So this is all about XAU and crypto. So before I end, I have some of the announcement to make with you guys. Just now, I have a meeting with my team. This ticket is actually going out very, very fast. And this buy one, free one ticket, uh, so long you are registered before 23rd of June, eventually you are eligible for this buy one, free one. So even though if you haven't found your plus one yet, you will also need to register first. After you have registered, then you can only slowly to look for a plus one first, your free one ticket, which is your friend. So right now, you don't have to be worried of who you will bring. You need to grab this ticket first, because there is a lot of things that actually happen in this carnival. The first thing is there is a total of 4 traders, 4 KOL are actually sharing their insights of trading on that day. And the second thing is there's a lot of uh lucky draw, very exclusive lucky draw that were given by exchanges. So, and just now I heard this lucky draw, it is actually worth quite a lot of money. Okay, but the exact gift I wouldn't tell you guys first. You guys may have to come to this carnival, and you guys will know what is the lucky draw, and we'll have some games as well. And of course, most importantly is you come over and networking with us, and you can learn with us, while at the same time you can enjoy free flow beer as well. So there are so many things that actually happen in this carnival. And this carnival, it is happening on 18th of July. The time is 1:30 to 10 p.m. And the location is Empire Damansara. So if you are located in Malaysia, or let's say just now I saw someone in our group chat, Troy. He's from Australia. So if you are actually coming to Malaysia, uh, I highly encourage you to come Malaysia during 18th of July, and hopefully to meet you there, Troy. Okay? So be fast. The ticket is selling off very, very fast. So even though if you haven't found your plus one yet, which is your friend, never mind. Register first. After register, then you only look for your friend. And this ticket is 99 ringgit. But if you have one friend to bring over, you will actually just 50 ringgit per person, and dinner is included. All right, do you guys have any questions? If you guys are all good, you guys may type good in the chat room to let me know. If you guys are clear, you guys may type good in the chat room. Okay. So if you haven't joined our WhatsApp group, you may click the link down in the description. Or if you wanted to know more about our VIPs, so what are we actually doing in our VIP is we'll be having daily live trade and we'll be teaching a free strategy to you guys. And this strategy, it is actually proven, it is profitable. Okay? So if you want to learn this strategy, be fast and join our VIP and we will teach you. All right, see you guys, everyone. Bye bye.